Hello, I'm Liz Lumley of Finextra, and we're here at the BSA Annual Conference in Manchester, and I'm speaking to Graham Beale of Nationwide, and we're going to have a quick conversation about IT, which is a huge issue in any business. So, you know, as Chief Executive of Nationwide, what are some of the sort of top major questions every CEO needs to ask when looking at IT in their organization?
Well, I think we're on the cusp of a historic moment, and it's not being created by the industry, it's being created by consumers who have been enabled by technology. And they're actually now shifting the behaviours and the way that they want to interact with all sorts of commerce and certainly building society activity. And I think you can choose to either follow what consumers want or you can get left behind. And we've chosen to, really embrace technology and acknowledge that we are on the cusp of a digital revolution. You could actually argue it started already. A third of our sales last year were through online channels. So you've got to respond to that, otherwise you will be left behind, you'll become irrelevant to consumers and they will go elsewhere. So I think the real clear challenge is to actually acknowledge that this is happening and to align the business to respond to that.
So, you mentioned responding to customer behavior. Is it really, are you looking at using IT as a business enabler in order to respond to customer needs? Is that the way you're going?
We absolutely are. We launched the mobile app just over a year and a half ago now. And we get 650,000 logins every day on our internet bank, and 45% of those are through the mobile app, which is less than 2 years old. And we predict by the end of this year it will become the dominant channel for people accessing our internet bank. So it is important that we use technology as an enabler, but also it's important that we allow our technology to respond to what our members, our customers want. And it's clear that they want simplicity, they want access 24/7 wherever they are, and technology will allow you to do that. There will be some initiatives though that don't work, and I think that there's the potential for a few Betamax moments as we go forward. So you need to be fleet of foot and have a number of different initiatives that you're deploying at any point in time, knowing that some of them will pick up and work very well and others will fall by the wayside. But that is just where we are with this emerging technology until it becomes more established.
So you mentioned in your earlier answer that building societies really need to respond to customer needs or be left behind.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned the success of your mobile app. But is it kind of difficult to see, do a lot of organizations still see IT as a cost base? How do you overcome that barrier to seeing it as a real business strategic decision?
Well, clearly introducing new technology is expensive. But I think you've got a choice, because if you don't introduce the technology and get over the cost issues, you ultimately will not be relevant to consumers because it's what they want. So I don't think this is about cost efficiency or cost cutting or cost anything. I think this is about making the business relevant and accessible to consumers going forward. And I think you've got a choice. You either follow and you respond to what consumers want, or you get left behind.
Building societies are associated with having a bit more of a community feel than traditional banks, and they're a lot closer to the retail market. So you talked a lot about responding to customers' needs with technology, and you mentioned your mobile app. But is there a risk that offering more digital products, you'll lose some of that personal touch, that connection with customers?
I think there is a risk, but I also think that there's a way around it. We've just introduced something called Nationwide Now. That's a way of giving people access to our experts, say a mortgage expert, by using digital media to give people an interaction, a bit like Skype, but much better quality visual and audio definition, so you can have that immediate engagement. So we like to give our members a choice. If they're confident and they're happy with self-initiating and automating transactions, that's fine, they can do that. If they need advice or support, they can do the ring back, the call back, the expert advice on screen, or we can give them a face-to-face interaction with one of our advisors, ultimately on their laptops or their mobiles, today in our branches. The other interesting dimension, because a lot of people are saying that the impact of digital is going to remove branches from the high street, we're forming an alternative view, I have to say, because we've got some remote branches that wouldn't ordinarily justify putting an expert in there because there isn't enough demand. But by using Nationwide Now, which is effectively just putting a high quality screen in there and good communication links, they can go into a branch in the middle of Wales or wherever and they can see a mortgage consultant there and then. And it's breathing new life into branches.
It's combining the branch and the online experience.
Absolutely, and it's great. And talk about personal touches, because I've gone through this Nationwide Now experience myself. You're talking to an advisor via a screen, and you after a very short period of time you forget you're not having a face-to-face interaction, and then the advisor would say, and would you like a cup of tea, and you say yes please, and a message has been sent to the branch team who will bring a cup of tea in, and you carry on having your chat. So there's a very good way of melding, very modern technology with all the benefits and the coziness of a branch environment. It's working very well for us.